I do not have a thing open to check that I'm actually live.
Greetings, mortals, and welcome back. Duark thinks he's live, and so he's gonna do his whole thing, but who knows if he is or not. Yeah.
So, when last we left off, I had just been puttering around, losing against the final Pantheon here. Not the final Pantheon, it's the fourth Pantheon at any rate. And let's see here, we got video over here. We got chat. We got video. Perfect. Okay, so we are set. We have confirmed that I am live. I should have had that tab open, but we do have a working laptop now, which means that we will actually be able to be in both of the chats, and that is not my screen. That is actually a copy of my screen. All right, so it turns out that if you just go down here, usually you have to beat a boss before it shows up in this place, but you can refight all of the bosses here. And it turns out that the Pantheon bosses show up here for practice without you having to actually fight them, or without you having to beat them first. So you do still have to fight them, but you don't need to beat them before you get in here. I wonder what's over there. So this is the Pure Vessel. So we are going to go ahead and fight it. And we will, once we've done this, we'll be able to actually do the Pantheon. We just need to get some practice going here. Whoop, that's not good. So, that's not how you respond to that. No. Okay, I don't think that... Okay, if I'm really close, I can do it that way. But if I'm not really close, I won't be able to dodge through it. I'm wondering whether I want to be using iframes to try and dodge through him or not. So, we'll see. I don't know how much HP he has, so we will see how this goes. Nope, that was too early. Oh, fail. Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay. If you're really close, you can be quite aggressive there. For this guy, if I can get this guy down reasonably well, it might be that I can get away with not having the thinger, but I don't actually know. So I can hit once, I can heal once rather. Okay, so that's good to know. Nope. Okay, so that's good to know as well. Okay, so he does get staggered after you've hit him sufficient times. Let's see. I'm wondering Does he teleport after every... No, he does not. Shit. Okay, I thought I had the efforts for that. Let's see here. So the other thing is that I need to get a strat down that will work consistently, because I don't really want to waste 15 minutes. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get to phase 2. I think this boss in the previous version has 3 phases. And I would be very surprised if this version does not also have 3 phases. So I think I can get a free pot shot off here. Oops. Okay, just too close to the wall. Oh. Okay, that's... No. Okay, so I do not have time during that to actually get off a heal. So the question becomes, can I heal at all on this fight? I guess I can heal a little bit on this fight if I've got the thing. If I've got the guy knocked over. But with the way that I'm fighting, he's not going to get knocked over very much. I don't have a knock him on his ass strat. I have a... Yeah, I do not have an opening there, so... That was not perfectly timed, but even if it was perfectly timed, I don't think it would have worked. So, I think for phase 1, I am going to just have to get... I think I just need to get him down perfectly, honestly. As far as I can tell, the strat for phase 1 is to iframe through his attacks. Nope. Nope. Dead. Nope. Okay. I'm the 2 different attacks that he uses have 2 completely different timings. So I need to get those down. I'm so happy that I have the ability to practice here. If I couldn't practice this on this, I don't think I would have been able to beat this. This completely changes the dynamic to be able to actually practice here. Nope, I just jumped straight into that. Oh shit. Okay, so that... Okay, so he's going to do that, which is then going to present those things out. I wonder if that's an opening. So that's phase 2. I actually got to phase 2 on either my first or second attempt. Weirdly enough. So... Because when I was in the actual arena, I remember seeing that. I think it was on my second attempt. So that is a phase 2 attack, I think. Shit. shit. Can I get it? No. Damn. Okay, I was too far away from him there. So I think that actually, in terms of timing, I don't think that my timing is that far. Oh, you know what I should do? I am going to change my build. There's a couple of things that I can do for my build that will actually help me a lot. I just need to figure out what I can get rid of. I think I might have to get rid... I don't want to get rid of Quick Slash, though. If I take off... Oops, that was long now. Okay, so if I take that off, that gives me slightly less range, but I could replace it with Sharp Shadow. And if I have Sharp Shadow, it will actually increase the range on my dash. And that will make it substantially easier to dash through him. So this might make the fight a lot easier, despite the fact that I'm slightly reducing my range. Because honestly, being closer to him isn't even a bad thing. I want to be closer to him. Oh, fail. Shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, so I got him to phase 2. I want to be right on top of him for most of the fight, and when he does that, I should actually start blasting him with spells. If I can get myself to the point where I'm consistently getting the timing correct. I think that some of the times that I'm getting hit by his attacks are actually because I think I have iframes but do not. I did not have iframes there. So yeah, okay, that's what the problem is. Occasionally, I mean, it's one of the problems. Okay, that was not me. One of the problems that I'm running into, actually, is that I am... Actually, do I... Instead of Sharp Shadow, do I want to take... Dash Master allows you to dash more frequently, right? I'm actually going to take off Mark of Pride. I'm going to put on Dash Master. Because, oh no, Dash Master doesn't help me. It's not going to reduce the cooldown on the thing. So never mind, we're keeping the Mark of Pride. Alright. It's a separate timer. It's not about a matter of how often I can dash. It's about how often I can dash with iframes. Okay. The other thing is that I could, if I want, switch my strat when it comes to him using his melee attack. Shit. Nope, that's not right. Okay, that was really slimy. Okay, that was a normal... The problem with having Sharp Shadow and this is actually a major problem, is that if I have Sharp Shadow, I actually have two different ranges on my dash. I have the normal dash, and I also have the other dash. So it's a little harder to consistently know how long I'm going to dash, because for me, the visual indicator for when I'm going to have my dash up again is not very obvious, because I don't really look at my character very much. Okay, I did not actually have it up in time there. Shit. Okay. Standing right in the center there. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that you could stagger someone with that. That's very good to know. All right, the other thing that I need to do in this fight is I have a lot of time where I'm using where I'm basically just sitting around. Oops. No, did not have time on that. The other thing that I'm curious to try actually is I think I'm actually going to try to do a perfect on this. And by extension, I think I'm going to be spending my mana on the thinger. So here's a question. I don't actually necessarily need Sharp Shadow to no, I just... If I dash into him when he does that, that's bad, because then if he decides to follow it up with his melee attack, I don't have an answer to it. So I'm going to stop dashing toward him and start just blasting him from range when he does that. He's giving me an opportunity to just chill, and I need to just chill when he does that. The other thing, I don't actually know. Maybe this is a fight where I should... Nah. Oh, that was silly of me. Okay. Oops, that was silly of me. That was also silly of me. Oops. Oh fuck, that was silly. Alright. Let's try this again. I think I'll be able to get this guy down consistently at some point, but if I was trying to fight this boss as the end of the Pantheon, there's no way on earth that I would ever get this boss down. Like, if I was just trying to fight him where the only practice that I'm getting is, like, 30-second attempts. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button as well. Yeah, I wasted my iframes again. So, I'm not even consistently getting to phase 2. Do I want the Sharp Shadow? I think I'm going to stick with Sharp Shadow. Sharp Shadow gives me a bit of extra oomph, but I do need... This is not a boss that I can be super highly aggressive with. I need to just counter when I have the opportunity. So... Oops, I thought it was in a different location than it actually was. Okay, knocked him over. Fail. I didn't have iframes for that. If I had waited a half a second longer, then I would have had iframes for it. I think I've got a pretty decent idea of this now. It's just about countering him. I do wish that I didn't have to deal with both of these animations at the same time. Oh, shit. That's the wrong button. Yep, fail. Nope. And I didn't have enough thing because I did the same stupid dash thing. Yeah, I have confirmation that that strategy is not going to work. I need to be more defensive. I might actually want to take Sharp Shadow off and replace it with the other thing, but I think that there's benefit to doing a half damage hit every single time I dodge him. Nope, I didn't have time there. Nope, didn't have the thing because I just dodged. Life is sad. Okay. Whew. Yeah, playing the iframe game is a lot harder with this guy than the Mantis. The Mantis was just like iframe, iframe, iframe. Easy peasy. Fuck. I wonder if that's consistent every time. Because if I could just know the exact spacing that's safe from that, that would be very useful. I'm having a difficult time with the amount of stuff that's in the fight responding to that effectively. And shit. I don't like going in the air for this fight. Honestly. I feel like there's a lot of fights that I go in the air way too much for, and this guy's attack pattern is one that it's really tempting to go in the air, but I think that I'll get punished heavily if I go in the air. Shit. Shit. I think trying to jump was the correct move there, but I took too long to make that decision. I don't think that I had a dash available to me. Okay. I'm actually curious about trying out a spell build for this, because I could replace Fragile Strength. Dashed in way too early there. Unfortunately, I'm not even seeing his whole attack pattern, I don't think. So, this is a really hard fight. At least it's a hard fight for me. I'm sure that there are many people who this isn't that bad a fight for, but I'm pretty sloppy. No. That sucks. No. Yeah, the timing on his pattern is actually interesting because I've got the timing on the pattern down reasonably well. The problem is that the pattern is about a quarter of a second distinct from my actual dash timer. So I need to wait that extra, like, a half second, and I'm not giving it that extra half second. Shit. Okay, so I think it is consistent. I think it's a consistent range. So I think that if you're at a specific range, then you are safe, and you need to find those safe zones. Usually he's further away when he's using it. He doesn't usually teleport that close and then use it. No, that's a different angle, because that covered the entire screen. So when he uses that, I kind of have to just be far enough away that I can see where it's going to shoot. I can't be too close to him when he's doing it, or there's the risk of getting hit. Obviously, there's also the risk of getting hit if I completely botch it. I shouldn't be in the air until I know that I need to jump. Okay. Oh shit, dodged the wrong way. No. I don't think jumping around is gonna help me too much. Jumping around makes some of his attacks a little bit easier to deal with, kind of, but not really. Honestly, just dashing through him, hitting him there, and then hitting him once on the return is probably a better bet. And I think that, honestly, this boss doesn't have a lot of really safe opportunities to hit him, and I just need to live with that. Like, doing that is just not a good move. Shit. 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 No. This is gonna be rough. Man, getting this boss down consistently is gonna be a challenge. Now, I could, if I want, and this is something that's an interesting idea, is to go for more passive damage or more spell damage. And that might be a better way to deal damage to this boss, is to just have Sharp Shadow. And to have Sharp Shadow and then just a bunch of passive shit to allow me to try to dodge around. It might work, but it's going to slow things down dramatically, I think, to try and do a more passive build. I could try a more passive spell build, which might be interesting. To have, like, the spiders out. I kind of feel like for that move I do need to just dash toward him. I'm trying not to dash now, and that move is killing me way more now because it takes a lot of time for me to process it and then figure out the exact position that I need to be in. And it's just taking me too long. I want to check something actually. I'm trying to figure something out with this, and we'll see. I kind of feel like the Sharp Shadow is actually breaking it, so I might actually be able to break those blades by hitting them. In which case, it's actually not that bad, and I can deal with that mechanic pretty easily. If I can break the projectiles, then I'm actually really. That's going to save me a lot of deaths. Fail. Failure. But yeah, if I can get this guy down consistently at some point, which is not actually a guarantee. I might never get consistent with this guy just because of my relative lack of skill. And if I damage him there, I need to dodge through him, not away from him. I do not have time to... Oh, come on. Oh, that was great. He warped in place and I-framed the thing. The spell. That was pretty impressive. Well played, sir. Well played. Shit. Shit. Oh, bail. Bail. That was a fail. I was gonna say bad idea mixed with fail leads to bail. And now we know how Baal got his name. Oh, that was silly of me. That was completely wrong button. The only issue with doing this on the controller is that having everything attached to my thumb is not exactly optimal for me. I get like kind of like distracted and press the wrong button now because it's been so long since I played games regularly with a controller. So I'm just used to having a more dedicated roll for each finger. See if we can get this. I need this to get consistent. Shit, wrong direction. Shit, it's too far away. Shit. Nope. Fuck. I'm not even getting this guy to like phase 3. Or I think this is probably like a 4-phase fight or something. The way that I recall the previous fight going, it was like just huge numbers of phases. Like he introduced a lot of extra attacks, and what? Shit. I actually did well on that phase there. I'd actually stockpiled quite a lot of damage in the spell. Give me a second, actually. I'm wondering if I want to do this with Sharp Shadow or not. Now that I've done so much with Sharp Shadow, I feel like I can't swap it. I'm not going to be able to get the spacing down correctly. I'm already occasionally getting myself hit just because I'm so far away when I dash. Oops. I actually find the stagger mechanics really annoying sometimes, because you can see that I actually need to take off Sharp Shadow. Sharp Shadow is actually getting me killed. Not regularly, and not as much as I'm getting myself killed by other things, but Sharp Shadow leads to there being way too much inconsistency. I simply can't do that. Like, if I have the inconsistency coming out in terms of how long basically, if he's dashing toward me and I'm dashing toward him, and all of a sudden he stops because he comes into contact with me and takes damage, that's actually really bad for me. I don't want that at all. Yeah, this dash is so weird now. This is so much better. That was the landing. Oh shit. He started his attack pattern before the things were over, and I wasn't expecting it. I had plenty of time to respond to that. I just was doing full-on DPS burst mode. This is a much better setup for this fight, actually, because it might not really seem like it, but the Sharp Shadow is actually costing me damage. Because I'm dashing further with Sharp Shadow, which is leading to less time on target. Okay, that I needed Sharp Shadow to do that, but because I think Sharp Shadow would have been fine there. But yeah, once I get down the spacing on this, that'll help me quite a bit. Sharp Shadow has some serious problems with it, just generally. One of the major ones is that it's inconsistent. So, and it's not that the Sharp Shadow itself is inconsistent, it's that if you have Sharp Shadow equipped, there's a difference in your dash length depending on whether Sharp Shadow is active or not. So basically, it would be one thing if Sharp Shadow always you dashed a specific amount, as long as you had it equipped, so the increase to the length of your dash wasn't a problem, because you just learned the new length. But for dodging things where you have to have specific spacing, the difference between those two things leads to you being potentially in two very different locations on the screen, depending entirely on how long it's been since your last dash. That was too early. Shit. What the Phase 3! Welcome to Tentacle Time! Okay, so he hit me with some tentacly business there. No. I thought I had a little tiny bit in the edge there, but I did not have enough space. Okay. So, I don't know how many attempts this is going to take before we get our first kill. And my guess is that it probably won't take more than 10 or 15 minutes after I get my first kill to get it down consistently. Shit. Oh, jeez. What? What? So that phase is short as hell. Huh. Okay. Shit. Shit. That was silly of me. Okay, so we got him to phase 4 again. I could have just dodged through the tentacle arm thing that he had there. So, but yeah, we're pretty close to getting this guy on lockdown, actually. I was expecting there to be several more mechanics that would be coming into play. And it looks like that is not the case. It looks like... I should have dodged the other direction. Shit. Sure. So for that move, I can actually just jump up in the air if I want. That move is probably something that I should just jump over. It's going to be weird because I'm on the ground like the entire fight. There's very little reason for me to jump in this fight. So we're consistently getting into the final phase now. So once I've gotten the final phase down and have figured out an appropriate strategy to deal with that one attack, it should be fine. Because the rest of the attacks aren't too big a deal. And I might like die once after I've learned when I'm doing it for real. That was silly of me. Okay. It took me a second to recognize what he was doing. For whatever reason, it just didn't trigger. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just walk away. It's like, you can't walk away, you need to dash away. But yeah, my strat here is just so full-on aggro. I actually really enjoy it. So, the nice thing about an aggro strat is that an aggro strat will, once you've gotten it down with a degree of consistency, it's really fast, right? So you just, like, if you do screw up with an aggro strat, you don't really care as much. Whereas, if you're playing it safe, and you die anyway, then you're a sad panda. Oh shit. Hi, friend. Oh. Jesus. I need to press the button twice. But I did manage to jump. So we're getting progress on that phase. The other thing is that if you're doing a safe strat and then you get to the part that you're uncomfortable with, that you don't know yet, then you run into the problem that sure. No. No. What was I saying? Oh, then you get into the part that you're uncomfortable with, and you are you're not actually doing any damage. Whereas you can be uncomfortable in a phase and not really sure what you're doing and still be able to actually get through it, as long as you make fewer mistakes than basically, you make mistakes at a lower rate than you kill the boss. A defensive strat, sort of by its nature, requires that you actually do perform better. So, whereas with an aggressive strat, if I still do not. I don't have a consistent counter for that. So part of it is I need to get to the final phase with more HP so that I can respond to that. So that I can get hit by that. But also I need to get there with more HP so that I can... but also I need to figure out a strat to deal with it. Nope. That's what I mean. Just being so overly aggressive right now. I'm actually not sure what happened there. I guess I just wasn't moving quickly enough. I must have just like dashed and I was still inside of his hitbox. Because I don't think I had just dodged. I had just dashed, so I didn't have the thing available. Okay. I need to get way better about keeping track of my dashes. The problem is that because it's a mechanic you get so late, it's not really something that I've ever really internalized properly. But yeah, I'm definitely going right now for an all-in strat where I don't even consider the idea of healing, because I think that it'll be better. That being said, I'm curious if maybe instead of Fragile Strength, I should take a spell damage increasing thing. Yeah, I've already beaten him once here, but I'm not at the point yet where I've got him consistently. So I'm basically just getting the practice in. Phase 3 is shorter than I was anticipating it would be, but I also got a huge amount of burst in from spells in Phase 3. So whoopsie doopsie. Just go ahead and knock myself back into the spikes. That's fine. But yeah, my hope is that I can get myself up to the point where I can beat this guy on at least about half of my attempts before I go into, no, the, oh shit. It really helps when he spams his most counterable moves. Oh my god, I didn't get hit by that. That's literally the first time. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure. For me, the issue with trying to dash through him, which is probably what you identified as well when you were doing it, is that sometimes his attack pattern is such that it's sometimes he's more aggressive than others. The problem that I have when I start to jump is that when I start to jump, I have too much that I'm trying to keep track of all at once. And if I have to keep track of all of that at once, then I end up with, I end up getting killed by stuff like his projectiles because I'm dealing with more complicated movement. I do think that most likely it's going to be easier for most people to jump. Oh, that's the wrong button. I am not, in fact, playing Dark Souls, so O is not my dodge button. So I just had a really, really great, and amazing opportunity to get a really easily clean kill on this guy, and then I completely threw it away. But yeah, that's the issue with trying to dodge through him, is that sometimes you have iframes and sometimes you don't, depending on how long it's been since you dashed. So because of the fact that I'm inattentive to that, like there, I just killed myself because I needed to wait like a fraction of a second longer in order to get the iframes, and I just didn't have the iframes. So that's the big issue with trying to do it with that strat. But I think that it's going to be faster for me to get this down consistently than trying to get the movement done perfectly. It's not just that his attacks are too fast. It's just that sometimes I don't respond quickly enough. There's a very narrow window sometimes, but I think there's always a window. Like, see, you can see that I managed to dodge through that one. That's basically the shortest window in the fight, I think. Wrong way. Silly me. Whew. Well, I've been at it for a little while. How long have I been live? I've been, this doesn't keep track of how long I've been live. What the hell? Give me that. It's probably been over an hour, right? Doesn't feel like it's been over an hour, but it's probably been an hour. What? How do I not have a thing that tells me how long I've been? Yeah, so I've been live for over an hour. I've been alive for about an hour and 10 minutes. So I've probably been on this guy for about an hour. So I better start be improving within an hour, right? But part of that, I had the sharp thing on, and that was really hurting me. So I got a lot of improvement while I had a charm setup that was making it much harder than it had to be. Because the mixture of the inconsistent dash range, because like for this, I don't need iframes for this, I just need to dash and get out of it. But not knowing how far I'm gonna dash is a problem. That was silly of me. Going full on aggro here, because yeah, he's got close to dead. When he starts using that tentacle move, I think I can pretty much, as long as I can survive one hit from the tentacle, I don't even need to actually learn that attack. And that sounds terrible, and it is, that I'm thinking about not learning how to do that move at all, but I might never actually get to the point. Yeah, the issue is that he does it very quickly, and I'm just not responding quickly enough, because he's only used that on me maybe 8 times total, because I just started getting to that phase a few attempts ago. No, too early. Okay. Nope, that was silly. No, I can't stand there. I can't. I'm like standing inside of his body. I'm being way too like, oh well, I have to be close to him so I can keep hitting him. It's like, not that close though. Like, there's limits. The other thing is that when I'm actually doing this in a way where it matters, where I'm actually trying to sort of like make sure that I'm successful, I'm actually very likely going to do much better than I'm doing right now. Because no, that's a bad position to be in. Nope. Okay, let's just completely screw up all the mechanics. Nope, that's not how you do that. Fail. I like this fight, though. I was actually very disappointed with the Pantheons because I didn't realize that I could come in and fight them here in order to do to learn the fights. The attuned version that you fight in here is the same as the versions outside, right? Like, this isn't some enhanced version of a boss, right? I think I'm going to need to learn. Well, I mean, I don't need to, but I think I should because of the fact that I need to get this down consistently. I think I need to learn how to dodge the attacks without using iframes. I'm kind of fighting this guy as if he's a Dark Souls boss. I was just having a conversation about this and about how this game is it's very much about like making the tactically correct decision and much less about like perfect iframe timing and stuff like that. Nope, that was silly. Because most of the time you can't even use iframes, right? sudden. Oh, he jumped in the air. Let's see. I'm guessing that when you're doing it yourself, it's probably like time is going in slow motion because you're very like in there, right? Whereas when I'm doing it, it's like, holy shit, those are actually very fast attacks. Yeah, I think it's probably better to just no. Okay, yeah. See, the problem is that I'm very bad at reading his tells in an appropriate time. No, I should have dodged through that one. Oh, he did it twice. Yeah, some stuff I have an easier time with, and sometimes some stuff I have a harder time with. I had a really hard time getting the Path of Pain down. Like, the Path of Pain took me probably several hours to actually get down. I think it took the somewhere between like 2 and 3 hours for me to get Path of Pain. And admittedly, I actually got through the Path of Pain 3 times in that time period because the really easy fight with the enemies after the fact is what killed me twice. No, that's not. So yeah, and the other thing is that the strat that I'm using here is legitimately, I was being pretty cheesy. Like, I was trying to brute force it in a way that is not reasonable. No, I should have dodged through. Oh shit. That's really dumb of me. Oh shit, okay. It's really silly of me. Yeah, I was doing the Path of Pain on the my keyboard, and Path of Pain actually is the reason that I'm using a controller now. I've switched over to a controller because the Path of Pain was just too, like, painful. Like, it was physically hurting me to use my keyboard controls for the Path of Pain. And I didn't, do the sensible thing, which is switch when I was doing the Path of Pain. That would make way too much sense. So I switched instead immediately after doing the part that made me cry. Because I wasn't really having any hand problems before that. So that's silly me. I mean, it depends on your definition of nicely, right? Like, the aggro strat occasionally works, but to a large degree, if you're, like, what I'm doing right now, I'm losing very quickly. Like, that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm getting a lot of attempts in. So I'm occasionally gonna... I'm occasionally going to be successful when I shouldn't be, if that makes any sense. And that's one of the advantages of a like, fully aggressive strat, is that you can kind of luck your way into victory in a way that you simply cannot and will not with a defensive strat, because with a defensive strat, you need to... there's... Each given opportunity that you have is not as beneficial. So you're not going to get the kind of RNG that you need on a defensive strat. Whereas with an offensive strat like this, like, you know, maybe he does that move 3 times in really quick succession like he just did, and you just get a shit ton of free damage into him. And then he does this, and I die, because I'm a dope, because I didn't jump. So that is the one thing. So I think that the strat that I'm using makes it so that it looks like I'm playing better than I actually am. And that I'm closer to getting things like... I'm closer than it looks like I'm closer than I actually am to having this guy down consistently. That was silly of me. Definitely not. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well. Yeah. On my previous playthrough, I was mostly using defensive strategies. Because I kind of had to. On my previous playthrough, I went through about 80% of the game. So I've played through this game twice. So this is my second playthrough. The first playthrough, I didn't find the blacksmith for like 80% of the game. So I was fighting like endgame enemies with the default nail, which went about as well as you'd expect. Because things are taking like, for like random, like little mobs, it's taking me 10 hits to kill them. You know, every boss fight is a 30-minute extravaganza. Like, this boss has way less relative HP to the kinds of bosses that I was fighting on my first playthrough, just because, you know, you get really far into the game and the game's expecting you to hit for 24 damage per hit, and instead you're hitting for 5. I had to get really consistent, and so on this playthrough it's been nice to be able to actually use the aggressive strategies, because you can't be aggressive with 5 damage, right? There's nothing you're never going to do anything of that. So now I'm playing through with a much more aggressive, like, gung-ho, you know, strat, and really enjoying it, but at the same time, it's not really that helpful for learning the fight. That was silly of me. That was really silly. No, I haven't completed it yet. I'm actually practicing on this boss so that I can do the Pantheon of the Night. I got to the boss and got wiped by him, and then I tried to do it again because I didn't realize you could just come down here and fight him here. So I'm just fighting him here to get practice so that I'll be ready when I go after him in the Pantheon. Maybe I should try to be at least a little bit. Okay, so at least we got to phase 2 again. I think that phase 2 is legitimately easier than phase 1 is. That was silly of me. But I'm doing... There's really no justification for me taking damage from those spikes that come from the floor this much. I'm failing that mechanic, which is one of the easiest mechanics in the fight, way more than is reasonable. But that's just like me, right? Like, I am going to always get hit by the thing that it's like, dude, why are you getting hit by that? The thing that's going to kill me is not going to be the hardest thing. It's going to be the easiest shit in existence that I'm pathologically doing incorrectly. Shit, that was silly me. Nope, that was done with me too. That's the very wrong button. It's not that hard to respond to that, friend. You just have to hit the right button and not the wrong button. I just do it. Just don't dash toward the shadowy darkness. Just jump over it. Just do it. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you. In your power. Your power to not continue sucking at life. Oh, that was definitely not the correct way to dodge. That was silly. That was silly too. Yeah. I realized when I was doing this that, like, if I have to... Because not only do you sacrifice that, but also, like, I don't think this guy gives you any openings where you can heal during his, like, bombardment. So, and you can only heal, like, one when he's stunned. So, like, at that point... it's not terribly impactful. So you're, in addition to sacrificing your mana, you're also sacrificing, like, 3 charm slots. Because there's no way you're going to do any healing against this guy. Unless you have dedicated... That was so dumb of me. That was dumb of me too. Okay, that was just... I was casting a spell while I was in the death. Don't stand in the death. Rule number 1. Rule number 1. So yeah, I decided early on when I was fighting this guy, I decided early on that trying to, like, get him down in a way that involves me healing myself is just fundamentally not going to work. Nice. You'll note that I'm just going straight in when he does that and not even trying, because how hard is jumping? Apparently ridiculously hard when I'm doing this fight. I don't know. I don't have a reason or a justification for that. It's just, it seems very hard for me. Yeah. Because if you have quick focus, right, then there will be openings, but then you're sacrificing 3 charms, or 3 charm notches for it, which is the concern, right? Is that what are you sacrificing in order to be able to do that? And given that he hits for 2 every time you make a mistake, I just didn't think that it would be worth it for me. The funny thing is that I actually very rarely actually use the spell damage, and I'm actually gonna go into the thing right now. I'm gonna do 1 attempt on this boss when it actually matters, because part of my reason for failing so many times, I don't know that I'm ever gonna get to the point where I do it consistently when I'm spamming him like this. So I might already have his attack pattern down well enough that if I give a shit, I'm going to do well. So I'm going to try going through the Pantheon now, and we'll see. Oops. I don't think I'll have too much difficulty with this. I don't remember there being anything that I had too much difficulty with in here. Whoops. That was funny. Okay, well, how funny would it be if I died to this guy? Wow, I'm performing really badly right now. What the hell? This is like how bad I was playing in my first playthrough. What the hell? I took about 4 times as much damage as I usually take on that fight. I'm gonna get myself up to max focus and then I'll heal myself. Oops. Okay, stand corrected. I'm gonna heal once. Okay. You can heal 3 at the end of each fight. So. Oops. Which one's Markov? When I started treating that boss like a Dark Souls boss and just dashing through literally everything, he became a lot easier. Is Markov the like weird lava creature? What? How did I not get hit by that? That was cool. I don't know how I got missed by those. I should have taken damage there. I'm actually having an easier time with this guy than I was on previous attempts. Oh. I'm a little inconsistent with him. Sometimes I find him very easy, and other times I get hit like multiple times just out of nowhere. I didn't know that anybody like had particular trouble with him. Is he a boss that people have particular trouble with? I guess I can see it because he's very different than most of the other bosses, right? If I die to this guy, I'm gonna be very sad. Oh, walked right into his body. Yeah, I've only done the Radiant version of a couple of fights. Oh, that was the way, man. I guess the other thing with this guy is I could see people having trouble with him because he's one of the many bosses that you really have no opportunity to heal. So if you have a... If you are inconsistent, but you're able to deal damage at a rate that would normally allow you to. I have so much tunnel vision going on right now. I'm like looking at the boss instead of his swords. If you're dealing damage to him at a rate where you would normally be able to heal, you still can't heal for the most part. So I can kind of see that, especially since you fight him earlier than you fight most of the other enemies that have that kind of a mechanic. Should I just heal myself? I guess I should, before we get the others on the field. Okay. So the next one I'm going to go for is this one. This is actually one of the only bosses that I actually died to on this attempt. Whoa. That was so lucky. So nice when they're standing on top of each other. Oops. Fail. Okay. So we're healing up. The rated. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that one would be really rough. Why am I dodging through this guy? Been fighting that other guy for way too long. I should have healed there. I'm actually playing very badly right now. Not sure why. Did not have an opening there. Fail. Sure. Wow, I'm really fucking this up. So mistakes were made, and we're gonna go in with slightly more, but not anywhere near as many resources as we should for this boss. I guess I'll listen to this guy just. Show reference, Omega One. Show fear, thou approacheth a great and terrible god, though its worldly body be bound and defiled. The glory of its pure form endures, ruler of this pantheon. Its endless power shall attune us to the one greater still, a god of gods. Meager one, dost thou imagine thyself the equal of this god? Dost thou imagine thyself made in its image? Thou assume a similar shape, and a deep echo within seems familiar. Ah, what thoughts are these? Thou so blasphemies in our mind. Wretch, begone! We pray that the god of nothingness silence thee forever. Let's see. If you... Top room, third right. Hold up. No. I did not know that. Let's see. Okay. No. Shit. Damn it. I didn't press down quickly enough. Yeah, I'm gonna die here. No. Yeah, I'm not meaningfully better in this version. I might be a little bit, but not particularly. I'm gonna need to either practice more, or alternatively, come back to this tomorrow and then one shot it. That's basically what happened with the Sage. I beat the Nail Master on my first attempt after having never beaten him before. So let's see. I'll try this on this one more time, and then sure, yeah, I'll go check out the secret room. That was silly me. Man. Right. So let's take a look at this secret. So you said this is the Hall of the Gods, right? So top right. So oh, I see what you mean. I think I understand what you're saying here. Okay, so can I break the thing first? Oh, no. Is it this point? Let's see. Okay. So. Okay. So I have to go through the ceiling to get to the point where I can break it. That's really well hidden. Wait, what? Does this let me fight the arena version of Zote? Oh my god, that's so good! Oh man, that is glorious. I'm so happy. Oh shit. Wait, what? How many of these got... I mean, presumably Eternal, right? Oh, shit. I am so happy right now. I did not have any idea that this existed. I think I had heard the name Eternal Ordeal and assumed it was some sort of boss rush. What the fuck are you? I've never seen one of these before. Oh my god. Fireball spewing versions of Zote the Mighty. These are way more aggro than they are in the other thing too. Oops. Oh jeez. So that is cool. If you kill 57 of them, very cool. That's really very fun, actually. This is great. Okay, so do I want to try this with this? Yeah, I'll go with this setup for now. I'll try to get to 57 now. I was actually thinking I might end the stream here, and then okay, I can't hit him, but he can hit me. That's some bullcrap right there. Oh, shit. He's much further than I was expecting there. This is so funny. I like how it has the music, but then it also has his version. So the best way to deal with those guys is actually to down bounce them, probably. And it's definitely not good to be above those guys. Oops, fail. Oops. I should have got the thing that allows me to heal faster. Oh, that thing went away. Yeah. Oh, that was silly of me. All right, I'm gonna go grab the thinger. Let's see, what will I drop for that? What will I drop? I could drop Quick Slash. I don't necessarily need it for this. So I'll drop Quick Slash and pick up Quick Focus. Oops, no. Yeah, I didn't realize that thing was going to be moving around, so... Yeah, I think that probably my best bet is to just do down slashes. I'm actually wondering if I want to try that boss with my keyboard instead. You can kind of manipulate these guys. Shit. Okay. Oh shit. Wait, does that? I like how it's just a tall version. But, oh my god! Wait, what? Was that was just like a head? Oh, that's so cool. Oh geez, I'm too close. Okay, so that guy's gonna drop from there. Oh. Fail. What the fuck? Beefy Ghost. What the fuck is the Beefy Ghost? Oh jeez. Oh shit. This got so crazy so quickly. Oh jeez. Well, I just killed myself. That's funny though. That is glorious. Oh man. That is a really cool fight. I like that a lot. I like that fight a lot. Oh man. I think I'm going to take a break for now. It's 1:30 and I'm honestly not feeling well. So I think that I will probably come back to this guy tomorrow. I will hopefully be a little bit in a better place to get him down. I'm a little distractible right now. Oh, check out the title screen? Yeah, we'll do that first. Like, I'm finding that my ADHD is coming out, and I'm sort of like phasing out in the middle of the fight where I'm just like, he's singing! This is great! This is really great. But yeah, I find that if I do the same thing for too long, I eventually start getting worse instead of better. So do I have something else that I can do quick? Let's see, because I'm happy to do some other thing for just a little bit, just like a little quick thing. I just don't want to keep doing attempts on that guy because I don't want to do the whole thing, and if I don't want to do the whole thing, then there's not really much reason to. Oh, I'm not resting. I'm a smart man. That's very cool. I love all the different different things that they do with the title screen. I think that's really cool. Let's see. So I have to go to a map. Yes. And am I missing any major... Well, I shouldn't be missing any major things because I've killed every boss. So I guess pretty much the only thing left to do is that Pantheon. Well, poopy. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there probably isn't anything else left to do. Okay, so I'll come back to doing this boss tomorrow. And oh, never mind, I won't because tomorrow is Saturday. So unless I am awake way earlier than I'm supposed to be, I will not be on tomorrow, but I will be on Monday. So on Monday, I will try to finish this up and do all that jazz. I don't know if I've done the hunt. I don't know if I've completed the Hunter's Journal. I haven't actually talked to the thing in a while. So I don't... Oh, okay, I'm missing 6 things from the Hunter's Journal. And I'm missing 30 in terms of actual completion. I didn't even notice that was in the corner there. I wonder what 6 things I'm missing. That's interesting. I thought that I had to complete all the Pantheons to complete the Hunter's Journal. So I would imagine I'm going to get some stuff from the Pantheons, but I don't know how much of this stuff is stuff that I haven't finished yet. Apparently, I haven't finished with Leaping Husks, so I have quite a few things that I haven't finished, presumably. So I'll do this at some point, but I think I need to do the Pantheon stuff before I can finish it anyway. So I might as well. Oh, I don't need to do the Pantheon stuff. So the bosses don't show up in the Hunter's Journal. I wonder where, because you've got stuff like the Seal of Binding. This is on here. What was this? Where did I get this from? I got this from the Path of Pain, right? So the Pure Vessel's in here. Oh, I haven't beaten Grim. But I'm going to need practice on Grim in order to beat him as well. So I think next time I will be having a longer stream. Today I just did 2 quick short streams. But next time I'll be doing, hopefully I'll be doing and finishing up this Pantheon. And I'll be doing Grim. So we'll see. We'll see how much I'm able to get done on Monday. Hopefully quite a lot, but it depends on how well I'm doing against this boss and against the other boss. So the Nightmare Grim is going to be a really hard boss, and I identified that the second that I was trying to fight him. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a time. But I don't want to do Nightmare Grim until I finish this Pantheon. I think he might get added to one of these Pantheons. It might be the final one, though. I guess he gets added to the final one. I don't know if I'm going to do the last Pantheon, honestly. Having to fight every single boss one after another, and if I lose against any of them, that seems like it's just too long for me. Because I'm definitely going to have at least a few attempts to get through some of these bosses, right? I'm not going to kill this and Grim on the same attempt on the first try, most likely. So if I have to do both of those things, so we'll see. We'll see what I do. I'm not sure how much further we're going to be able to get. I have 109% out of 112%, and we'll see. But anyway, that is going to be it for today. So thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure streaming for you today, and I hope to see you all again next time when there will probably be more murder.